We see the slides now. It's up.
Okay. Are they moving?
You need to start it as a slideshow from the beginning.
It is a slideshow on my computer, but okay.
I see it. We see the. Okay, there you go. We see the about the presenter slide. There you go.
Do you see my face now?
Right now, yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that we're moving. It's like I have a delay. Sorry, everybody. So, are we on the what is grassroots fundraising slide?
Yep.
All right, cool. So again, it's when individuals or small groups raise money from the local community. And these are our goals: to find out where the money is, to develop persuasive conversational skills, encourage people to donate to you or your PWN chapter, identify strategies you can use to engage people or local businesses, create a personal fundraising plan, and to learn those skills and share ideas with your peers. So this is the slide I was talking about. You can see from this graph, 83.5% individuals gives to charities, which is the majority of people, less corporations and foundations. So when we ask people, people do give. How do we get the cash? We ask for it. 85% of people who can remember their last donation report that they gave because they were asked. 50% do not remember the name of the organization to which they donated, but 90% remember something about the person who asked them to give, even if the person was a complete stranger. So before we get into the details of how we're going to do it, this is just a little bit about the summit. The summit will be, of course, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The early bird registration is $200, and that ends by January 31st. After January 31st, registration will be $250, and registration totally ends after February 28th. You can hold your spot with $100 down, but that $100 must be completely paid off by February 28th. Also note that if you pay your $100 to hold it during the early bird registration, but you don't finish paying it off until after that, then you'll have to pay the complete $150. The registration, of course, covers your hotel room, all meals, and conference materials. If you have any additional questions about that, please put them in the chat box. So the goals for members or groups. So these are all approximate, so don't take them as hard totals. But depending on your mode of travel and where you live, I've come up with some prices per person that you should be looking to raise or have in order to attend the conference. So if you're driving and you don't need a car rental, it appears to be $300 for one person. Now, if you put more people in the car, of course, they would just have to, and that's $200 for the registration, and that's early bird. If you go after early bird, then of course it'll be $250, and then $100 for gas. If you put more people in a car, of course that price for gas goes down. Driving with the car rental would be $500. That's the $200 early bird plus $200 early bird, and then $300 for the car rental and the gas. Greyhound for a round trip ticket and registration, $400 per person. If you're going to do a plane ticket, that would be $500 per person, and that's the plane ticket and registration. And I have it here. These totals include registration at $200 plus the travel costs. If you want to register as a group, or if you get someone to register you as a group, groups and organizations have a discounted rate. If you register 6 ladies, you can pay $1,000, and then it'll be plus whatever travel you guys have to you guys are using to get there. A few people were asking about rides from the airport. So I looked up Lyft from the airport to the hotel is $10.59. Uber from the airport to DoubleTree is $12, and then a taxi cab from the airport to DoubleTree is approximately $14. The super shuttles do not operate at Super Shuttle doesn't operate from this airport. They have an executive car, which was $38, so I didn't really put that on there because it's way more expensive than either of these. So why will people give you money? They'll give you money because you're going to make your case. You're going to talk about the organization that you are trying to get to, the leadership conference. You're going to talk about PWN, and you're going to talk about all the awesome work that you guys do, or that you do, that we do, in order for you to get that, make your case for them to donate money to you. What work are you doing? Who does it help? Of course, you know, you're doing leadership, advocacy work, and it helps women living with HIV, or it helps women. So if you go on our website, you'll be able to see a whole lot of things about what we do, how we do it, and you can look at that and you can draft a message from there if you want. Or you can just tell your compelling story of what you do in your community to help. What still needs to be done? Current challenges. We know one of our biggest current challenges is our administration right now, and we have a lot of work to do around healthcare, these taxes, things like that. So when you're thinking about challenges, you can think about those, or you can think about local challenges that you're having in your state. Whatever things are happening in your state, if you want to think about those local challenges, you can put that into your message. How can a donor become involved? They can always become an ally to PWN, or they can, you know, you can keep them on your list. You can send them information. Always, if they want to become involved, we can find a way for them to be involved. But if you make the case for PWN USA, it provides a foundation for future fundraising. So once you make your case and they are willing to give, more than likely they'll be willing to give to you in the future. So do I just ask, is it that easy? No, it's usually not so easy. So that's why you prepare and you create a persuasive communication. Persuasive communication skills are very helpful. There is no one size fits all message. You have to draft the message depending on who you're speaking with. And typically, you know who you're speaking with, whether you're speaking to a friend, a family member, a small business owner, whomever it is, you have to draft that message for them. So to prepare, you want to create a 1-minute elevator speech, which a lot of you probably already have, with key elements you want to get across. Then practice the different variations of it for the different types of people. How do we communicate with the HIV savvy ally versus someone we just met on the street? Because sometimes someone you just met on the street might help you in your cause. So let me say this, PWN USA rocks. We already know that. We, as an organization, we rock. So we want to let other people know just how much we rock. So you make sure that your message conveys that. So what are some keys to success? Know your facts about PWN. Again, you can find those on the website. There's plenty of information there that can help you draft your message. Communicate with emotion, intensity, urgency, and passion. So we want to make sure that the people we're asking understand that we're passionate about trying to get to the summit or to the leadership summit. So lean on your PWN USA sisters for help. Some of you guys may want to get together and do some of this together. You may want to do, events, letter writing parties, acts. You want to practice, run practices by each other to make sure that your 1-minute elevator speech makes sense and sounds good. Yes, lean on them for help. Lean on us for help. If you want us to do it, you can contact me. Jenny's always willing to read somebody's communication and make sure it sounds right. And once you do that, the money will follow if you practice what you plan to say to specific people or groups ahead of time. Practice, practice, practice. So a few fundraising strategies. So we will be putting a link in the chat box for a fundraising letter, and we'll send it out as well. But you can use the fundraising letter as is, or you can customize it for specific groups. So we're gonna give that to you, that letter that you can use. You can email the letter to any aid service organizations, clinics, case managers, doctors, pharmacists, friends, and family. You can offer to do a presentation when you return. What that means is, if you give me, sponsor me to go to this leadership summit, then when I come back, I'll do a presentation of something I learned there for you or your group, or whomever you want me to. Or you can create your own personal letter if you would like. Sample options for social media. So we know social media, most of us use social media, and social media is really good at doing some fundraisers. So most of us use Facebook. And on Facebook, when you post a photo or image, it actually, with their algorithm, it helps it get out to more people. So when you do the Facebook, you can post a link to the website if you want, the PWN website if you want, so that image can be on there. And ask for a donation, ask for people to share it with their friends so they'll know what's going on. They can go right on there and go to donate and specifically donate to the summit. You can do the same thing with Instagram. Instagram is specifically for photos. So you can do that, create a hashtag. I have a hashtag here that says support women's leadership. And then you put the donation link. Snapchat is typically for actions, like if you're gonna have some type of activity, if you're gonna have like a bake sale or something like that, you use Snapchat to promote the event that's going on. And Twitter, you can also put a link on Twitter that says support women's leadership, and add the donation link just like you did in Instagram and Facebook. So either one of these social media platforms that you use, you can use that to help you raise money. If there is a big event or you're having an event in your city, specifically since World AIDS Day is coming up, if you're planning to raise money, you might consider contacting your local media outlets, and sometimes they'll be interested in showcasing activities. The PWN office can provide help with talking points. So if you do this, you can contact Jenny or Tiami, and Jenny and Tiami will give you some talking points for contacting media. In-kind donations. So sometimes if people don't want to donate money, they can donate things like frequent flyer miles to you so you can purchase your ticket, because sometimes people have the miles, they just don't have the money, so they'll purchase your ticket, help you purchase your ticket with their frequent flyer miles. So you can ask for those. They can also give you goods for a raffle or a sale. So if you're having an event and they want to give you goods to raffle off, that's another way you can raise money. And if you're having a fundraising event, they can also give you in-kind gifts to auctions. So sometimes you want to use a raffle, sometimes people use silent auctions and things like that. And then there are other ways to raise funds. If you are a baker or you like to make things, you're crafty with your hands, You can make or bake things to sell. I know some people like to make jewelry. Some people like to bake cakes and pies, especially around this time of year. I know it's late. Thanksgiving is a couple of days. But if you are crafty with your hands, you can make or bake things to sell to help you raise money. You can also solicit local businesses for small prizes and host a game night at your home for a $10 or $20 donation. And you don't necessarily have to solicit some small businesses. I've known people who have done card parties, just done game nights, and they charge a little, they ask for a suggested donation for the event, for your fundraiser. If you have a birthday coming up, in lieu of gifts, you can ask for people to give a donation for you to speak up, for you to go to speak up. You can also engage local businesses. I know a lot of times we don't think about this, but if you have a local business that you frequent, you can ask them to help you. Maybe they can sell your crafts or dedicate a percentage of their sales from one day or a week to your fundraiser. You can also, this little jar right here, you can also put a little jar in some businesses, like a local barber shop or beauty shop. If you get your hair done and you have a regular beautician or barber, you can take them a bucket and ask them to put the bucket out there and ask them to help you raise funds with their tips, or ask their customers to give additional money for your fundraiser. You could do that for a business, if a business wants to put your bucket in the front, any type of place that brings in customers. You could also ask your favorite restaurant to host a charity night where a portion of their proceeds benefits ladies to get to speak up. And then if there is a new business in town that needs customers, a lot of times new businesses they need customers, so they need to do some advertising. So you'll ask them to donate items for gift bags if you're having a fundraising event, and they'll appreciate the exposure and you'll get great things to give away. This one is a little bit more with bigger businesses, a dollar for dollar match. Some of the bigger companies, if you know anybody there, or if you have a connection with any of the bigger companies, you can ask them to match the contribution you gain through your activities with a dollar for dollar match up to an agreed upon limit. For example, $500 or $1,000. You'll be able to raise double what you were seeking, and data shows that people tend to respond very favorably to this type of challenge. And then we have our special events, which are pretty much the funner events. You could have a yard sale. If you work at if you have friends or you work somewhere, you can ask people to do some winter cleaning, and whatever they don't need, bring it to you, and you can put it in a yard or a garage and sell it. You could try a car wash, bake sale, a house party, any of these things that are creative. If you teach yoga, you just think of whatever your skill is, whatever you can do good, that you can charge a small fee, and that can help your fundraiser. Oh, let me go. And then if you are having a special event, if you want to get ideas about how to make it more successful, fun, creative, try Pinterest. It'll make your event unique so that people are drawn to participate at the first one and at future ones too. If you make it unique and fun the first time, people are more than likely to come. And you could try doing a Google search for charitable fundraising event ideas, and they have a lot of great ideas there too. Okay, and then develop a personal plan. A lot of people have never raised money before, and raising money is scary because everybody does not like to ask for money. So if you create a plan beforehand, it typically makes it a little bit easier. So a part of your plan could be sending out that sponsorship letter via email or regular mail as soon as possible. So the benefit in that is some people only communicate via email. They don't do social media. They're not, you might not have their phone number, but they will open it and read their email. So it would be a good idea to send out that sponsorship letter via email. And then create a schedule where you can create fundraising posts on social media. So maybe once every Friday, you want to create a post to help you raise money and get to the leadership conference. And you can do that. You may schedule that every Friday, and you want to be sure to take advantage of World AIDS Day. World AIDS Day is coming up, so we want to make sure we take advantage of that day and ask for, if you're going to do social media posts, ask for donations on that day. And this is really important. Make a call list of people and have a phone banking party with friends or family. The call list is really important. So you will start with your immediate friends or family. You put their names down on the list so you don't forget. And then you go from immediate friends and family to maybe cousins, maybe co-workers, people you volunteer with, things like that. So you put all of their names down on the list. And if you want to have a phone banking party with friends or family, you can, and that'll make it funner. But you can just do this on your own if you want. But it's important to create that list so you don't forget anybody. And believe it or not, people that you know personally will give, and every little bit counts. So even if they can only give you $5, that counts towards your goal. People may be more comfortable giving things like we talked about before, in-kind donations. And if you're going to make a plan, so you can plan to do all of these things. And if you plan to do all of these things, 2 of these things, 3 of these things, it'll help you get that much closer to your goal. And especially if you have a group. If you have a group, some people can do some certain things and others can do other things. So you guys can also plan a fundraising event, such as a yard sale, bake sale, those things. If you have a chapter in your city, you could be creative. The chapters can get together, be creative, and figure out how many of these things that you guys can put on your plan. But most importantly, don't take on more than you can handle. Only do what it is that you know you can do well, because you want to make sure when you're making your acts as great as you can. Ask others to help, including your friends and family. But most of all, try to have a little fun in the process. And don't forget your donor basics. When people give you money, make sure you keep track of it. Keep track of their name and contact information, and thank them and others who helped you raise funds. Also, continually develop a mailing list, even if you're not doing mailings yet. Like if you don't do mailings, still get their contact information, because you can utilize that again for next year. And then when you're working as an individual small group, take advantage of your ability to interact personally with your donors. Get to know them and encourage them to stick around for the long haul. If they invite you to events, you might want to show up. Like, getting to know somebody personally and supporting them with certain things, they'll support you as well. Also, tell your supporters specifically how you're using the money they donated. Send them updates on their money, how their money was used. As an example, a personal note with the photo from Speak Up would be a nice way to follow up after they've donated. We can do this, guys. We can raise this money so we can get to Speak Up. So let's see what we have as far as questions. All All right, let's see here. All right, so someone asked what the name of the nearest airport is, and it's the Myrtle Beach International Airport. I'm just reading through the questions to see if there's anything that Jenny hasn't answered. Oh, it looks like she's answered everything. So I am super excited about Speak Up 2018. I hope you guys are. Jenny, I hope you save the, put the link in there for them. And this is how you contact me if you need, if you have any additional questions, or you have an idea that you want to run past me for anything. Please feel free to contact me for any of those things. And I think that's it. If there's no, are there any other questions? All right, so Nana says, break up your fundraising goal into manageable parts. So for example, the registration fee is $200. That would be 10 donations of $20 or 2 donations of $50 plus 10 donations of 10. That's a great idea, Nana. Smaller parts makes the goal more manageable. Also, often local businesses have small grants you can apply for, like ask your local bank or local run businesses or corporations that has headquarters in your area. That's an awesome idea. Women's corporations or organizations or businesses love to support women and women who are doing positive things. They actually love the word leadership. So if you are gonna target a local women's business, remember to use the word leadership. They really love the word leadership. Those are some great suggestions, Nana. Thank you. And the link is here in the chat box. And I'll also send it out afterwards. Nana had another suggestion. Asking people for a specific amount is usually helpful. Asking people for a specific amount is usually helpful. So when you make the ask after explaining what you're fundraising for, can I count on you? Okay, cool. Thank you, Nana. Are there any other questions? People can either come off mute or put it in the chat box. And if not, I hope that was useful and I hope it gave you guys some ideas. You're welcome, Brandy. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.